Executive order, Operation Flashpoint. Rip out the heart of their space program. Eradicate their long-range missile project. Take out the Ascension Group. Nazis, scientists, co-opted by the Russians after the war.
I love how our CIA bud is out of breath the entire time.
Well, yeah, he's the interrogator. He's the desk jockey.
He's the dude from the DFS episode that's on like his 800th dissident of the day. And he has to do voice work on top of that.
So, audience, that is the introduction that the player of Call of Duty Black Ops is given to this mission. There's an executive order. They are being sent to Baikonur to, as this guy puts it, tear out the heart of their space program, the Soviet space program, and cripple their nuclear rocket capacity.
Going beyond just stealing a satellite, we're going to kill people by illegally invading a foreign nation and causing an international incident. That's why it's an executive order, because it's not going through Congress.
Oh, that is actually
that never
a very
stopped
good point.
George Bush, so I don't know, man.
So another thing they say is that you are going to be eliminating the Ascension Group, who are Nazi scientists who have gone to work for the Soviets in their rocket program.
They have a really stupid logo. I remember talking to you about this the other day.
Who's going to tell them about our homeboys?
No. Those ones are the good ones. These ones are the bad ones. They're working... Listen, they're Nazis and they're working for communists. Come on. That's like double bad. That's like bad squared.
That's like Nazis.
Nazi communists. The worst thing a scientist can be. Also, yeah, as you pointed out, Chris, these guys are the Ascension Group. They have a very dumb logo. And something else, like, I'm going to sound so stupid for arguing about the lore of Call of Duty, because I did put a lot of reading into the lore of Call of Duty for this. The Ascension Group is not a thing in the campaign. The Ascension Group is from the fucking Zombies mode.
Yes.
In the Zombies mode, which has an actual surprising amount of lore to it, the Ascension Group is a bunch of Nazi scientists who went to work for the Soviet Union, not for their rocket program, but to bring Nazi zombies to them and make a super soldier army. And in that sense, it was like, oh, they're ascending, like they're this new...
No, they're ascending because the rocket goes up.
We are the up team.
Go up.
We are team up. Like, this was made in 2010. Everybody knew, but yeah, we're just going with the idea that like the only reason the Soviets were able to have a space program is because of the goddamn Nazis helping them.
God,
they could never do it on their own.
I think it was from Red Moon Rising, that quote that basically just boiled down to like, those people can't do it. So yeah, the goal of this mission, we get a pretty confusing, like, this is Call of Duty Black Ops. What do the numbers mean, Mason? All of that kind of stuff. Very flashy, weird intro cutscenes. And we are introduced to this mission with the objective of, like, you are going there to sabotage the launch of what it calls a Soyuz rocket. And in sabotaging the launch of this Soyuz rocket, this will somehow cripple their entire nuclear missile program. We are going to talk about this more in detail later, but I should not have to tell our audience that the Soyuz was developed from the missile, the R-7, not the other way around. The R-7's already a thing at this point. Also, this is happening in November 17th, 1963. The first Soyuz flew in 1967.
Also, don't worry, when you build a rocket, all that knowledge, you use it. It's a one-time thing. You have to make it again.
You put the hard drive in the rocket. It's gone.
You put the scientists in the rocket.
Listen, you can't back up a cosmonaut. You can't back up a rocket. It's simple.
I'm left thinking now that you pointed all this out, numbers and places. How many R7s did the Soviets have in 1963? ?
About a dozen total. Just like, not just in 1963, but just like overall. I know we've talked about this kind of here and there, but the R7 was a colossal failure as a weapon, mostly because it took like 12 hours to fuel and get ready for launch, which made it utterly worthless unless you were going to attack first. If the Americans decided to bomb the Soviet Union, these missiles would never get off the ground.
Yes, I am getting into a gunfight. Hey, can you hold up and let me load my musket really quick while you're shooting me in the eyes?
Which, to be completely fair to Korolev, he pulled the bait and switch on the military. He was not trying to develop a good nuclear missile. He was trying to develop a satellite launcher and then kind of pitch it as a missile that kind of worked, which is what the R-7 was. So for what it was actually intended to do in the hearts and souls of the engineers involved, it was good. They just tricked the military. Now, this is where we get to our first kind of weird point, because we are still in the introductory cutscene. This is how much like weird shit is going on that we have been able to talk so far and not leave the first like 15 seconds of cutscene. This is very clearly described as a Soyuz rocket. We see pictures of cosmonauts. And yet that same cutscene shows us a kind of like breakdown of the rocket, and it says that it has 3 weak points: the thruster engines, the liquid oxygen propellant, and a thermonuclear warhead. It also says that a double agent named Gregory Weaver is going to be the one to sabotage the rocket, so I have no clue why these guys are here. The game introduces this as Gregory Weaver is going to sabotage the rocket, and then it immediately goes into like, also you're there. You have guns for some reason.
Hey, you remember how just we have the most cocked agents on Earth in the DFS episode? Yeah, this is what they have them do when they can't kill anyone. Just here, go, just go over there.
Just go hang out. Just watch the CIA work. Maybe you'll learn something.
Here's an MP5. Go light someone up.
Getting the black bag pulled off my head, I'm tied to a chair, and there's like the guy with the gun, and then behind him are like 3 other very young looking agents who are just kind of like nervously watching and asking questions. What's that do? What did he do?
Professional development.
God. Like, yeah, like a CIA interrogators, like junior inquisitors, just watching, learning. It's like a mother cat like mauling a mouse in front of her kittens to show them how it's done. Like,
now remember, I started with his pinky nail to let him know that it'll get worse. Oh,
it can only get worse from here.
Sorry, I fucked up. The fucking prisoner's like entire hand is just missing.
A bit too late.
This sounds like rimrolled surgery.
We turned this man into a peg-like monstrosity.
You wanted to have a vasectomy? I'm sorry, I cut your entire arm off.
Okay, so we are now, like, the cutscene is over. We immediately have some very confusing goals for this mission. Basically, in Call of Duty Black Ops, the whole game, and Mason, the main character's whole arc, is that he has been brainwashed by the Soviets, but he has also been counter-brainwashed by a guy named Viktor Reznov on a revenge mission to kill a guy called Dragovich. How this relates to this mission is that you have initially, like, we pan into this mission, and the first goal is to sabotage the Soyuz rocket. The double agent, Gregory Weaver, has been captured. You need to rescue him. Also, Dragovich, the main bad guy of the entire game, is here for some reason. He is not involved in the rocket program, so you need to kill him.
He is actually Korolev.
And your other final possible goal that is not laid out by this is to kill all of the Nazi scientists that definitely existed in 1963, quarterbacking the Soviet missile program. How this all works, the mission does not explain. Also, Kravchenko is there. The deuteragonist of the game is also there, unexplained for some reason.
I don't remember the game. It's been so long, right? But like, Dragovich is obviously an important enough character if he's like the focal point of some character's story arcs. But like, who wants to be at Baikonur, right?
No one.
Like, if you're not involved with the rocket launch, how many Soviet officials that were like not related at all, like not even like tangential? Because like if it was tangential, maybe they had like some kind of requirement to be there. But like,
yeah,
who willingly just goes out of their way to attend the rocket launch at Baikonur? Right?
Like the actual scientists that they're, air quotes looking for, they are in a hole in Siberia and will not see the light of day ever again.
I'm Dragonovich, and I'm in my vacation limo in Kazakhstan in the middle of the desert. What a fun, wonderful time I am having, American pig.
I just think it's a nice place to visit.
The CIA wants this man killed because he has the one functioning gas in the Soviet Union.
He's sandy. Reminds me of mother.
Fuck. So that is the mission setup. It is November 17th, 1963, and we're going to kill some fucking cosmonauts. Or maybe we're going to blow up a nuclear missile. I'm not sure.